This beautiful model shows the ventricles. So this C-shaped structure with a tail, it's called the lateral ventricle. So we have two lateral ventricles. You can see from different views: superior view, lateral view, inferior view, right and left lateral ventricles. So then it's connecting to the third ventricle. Here is the third ventricle. Lateral ventricle connecting to their third ventricle via this foramen. It's called interventricular foramen. Inter means between. Between two ventricles, we have interventricular foramen, or Monro, foramen of Monro. And then third ventricle connects to the fourth ventricle. This is the fourth ventricle via this tube. It's called cerebral aqueduct, or sylvius. Cerebral aqueduct connecting the third ventricle to the fourth ventricle. And then down here below the fourth ventricle, you can see the central canal. So central canal extends down into the spinal cord, so it's really, really long. And lateral ventricle has different parts. This is the anterior view, so this is the anterior horn, and here is the posterior horn, and here is the inferior horn, anterior, posterior, inferior horn, and here is called the body of the lateral ventricle. This is the body. Anterior horn is only here, posterior horn. Between the anterior and posterior, this area is called the body, and down here is called the lateral ventricle. So, and this triangular shaped structure between the posterior and inferior horns and the body is called trigone. Trigons, triangular shape. So anterior horn, body, posterior horn, inferior horn, and trigone. So you can find different parts of the lateral ventricle in different lobes. So frontal lobe, we have anterior horn. Occipital lobe, you can find the posterior horn. Temporal lobe, you can find the inferior horn, and the body is deep to the parietal lobe. So you can find different parts in different lobes. So that's why when you take a cross section through the head and neck, you can find different parts of the lateral ventricle.